Hey guys, it's Allie, and today's video is going to be a deep dive on meme accounts, specifically the American Girl ones that have been blowing up in popularity lately. The online fandom of American Girl has been around since the late 2000s/early 2010s, but for the most part, it hasn't received the same mainstream attention that other communities such as beauty and ASMR have received over the past few decades of the internet. Occasionally, an American Girl doll video may go viral, or a news outlet will do a story on the online community, but recently a certain type of AG content has exploded in mainstream popularity, and those, of course, as you can tell by the title of this video, are the American Girl doll memes. These popular meme pages emerged in 2022, possibly late 2021, and rapidly gained tens of thousands of followers, some even having over 100,000 followers. The New York Times even recently wrote an article about this whole phenomenon, which made me, someone who I would say is very knowledgeable about American Girl and has been involved in the community for 7 years, want to create a video about memes from the perspective of somebody who has kind of seen the full rise rather than just talking about memes and American Girl just because it's popular. So today in this video, I will be attempting to explain what these meme accounts are, how and why they got so popular, and I will even be talking to some of the creators and owners behind these popular meme accounts. So in order for the rest of this video to make any sense, we've got to give some background information about what these American Girl doll memes are. So meme accounts in the AG community are nothing new. I actually have 2 different videos on my channel reviewing memes that I found on AGIG. Many of these meme accounts would die out after a few months of posting memes though. So they would be active for a few months, get a bit of hype, get a few followers, but then kind of just give up because they weren't achieving popularity, and the mainstream popular content of AGIG was still the photos. These types of meme pages would often take popular memes at the time, but change the wording to reflect AG scenarios, such as in these examples that you can see on screen. These accounts ranged in follower count from a few hundred to a few thousand, but they never were big enough to become mainstream. The big creators on AGIG were still the ones that took the doll photos. Over the past few months though, meme accounts have been getting revived and gaining popularity this time on AGIG, with some even reaching over 100,000 followers. One popular type of meme is the "we need an American Girl who blanks," and the memes would have the dolls do things like survive a Tide Pods challenge, have a Musical.ly, or even drop out of school. Oftentimes the memes are just non-doll related phrases with the stock photo of a doll in the background to make them American Girl memes. And just as a warning before you go and look up these meme pages, a lot of them do have content that I would say is PG-13, such as using swear words, sexual innuendos, and things like that. So these are definitely made with adults and even teenagers in mind, not kids. See, YouTube? Not everything doll related is for kids. Now that we've established what these memes are, I wanted to find out how these accounts blew up so fast. I wanted to see if any tips or tricks that these meme accounts use or have found to become successful could be applied to other doll-related content on Instagram or even to YouTube. And in order to answer these questions, I interviewed a few of the biggest meme accounts on AGIG. So the accounts that I interviewed are Gainey Holland, who has 16.9 thousand followers, Julie Albright with 2 U's, we all know what that means, who has 48.1 thousand followers, and of course the iconic Click Kittredge, who has 44.4k followers. So I asked them all the same 4 questions, and I will let you listen to their responses. Why did you decide to create a meme account?
I guess it started off by me scrolling through Instagram one day, either in January or February of this year, and I saw an American Girl doll meme, and I was like shocked. It was from Click Kittredge's account, and she was the first account that I saw of this type. I saw this meme and I was like, oh my gosh, this is hilarious. And it kind of dug up a ton of ancient memories about all the American Girl dolls I had as a kid. I was like, no way, like, this is crazy. They're making memes about American Girl dolls. So I think I was just really inspired by other creators and just by like the nostalgia of it.
I've actually been a memer on the internet for a while. I actually started making like little memes on MS Paint probably when I was was like 12. And in my life, I've actually run several sort of meme accounts and like joke accounts on various platforms. None of them have been anywhere near as popular as Clit has been. I've been on TikTok for a little bit, as I think most Zoomers and folks are. And I wasn't getting a lot of success on TikTok, but I made one TikTok that did really well. And I sort of made a joke where I compared American Girl dolls as like a gateway drug to being a radical leftist. And this TikTok did really, really well in a short period of time. And I sort of thought, oh, there might be something there. Meanwhile, I'd sort of been like on Instagram, this is all in 2021. And so I'd sort of been thinking about making my own like meme page for a while. And that TikTok did really well. Plus, I just sort of came up with the idea of clitridge. I thought that was so funny and clever. The name sort of happened first, and the desire to make memes came before the American Girl Doll Association for me. And then I sort of posted my first meme under the account name Clit, which I'd been holding on to for about a month before I started posting on it. The first meme I posted was in August 26, 2021. And I didn't know at first that it would all be American Girl Doll content, but my American Girl Doll content did really well.
For my interview with Julie Albright, she responded to me via text, so I will be reading off her answers. Julie says that she was actually one of the very first meme accounts, and she believes that she was the second or third major one. So Julie Albright actually started as a collector on AGIG. She's an AGIGer and a collector. So I want to know why these people decided to take time out of their days to create an American Girl doll meme account, and why American Girl specifically. I also want to know, did these people have dolls as a kid? Are they actively involved in the AGIG community? Or were they just hopping on the trend of creating American Girl doll memes just for the popularity? That's definitely the question I think that I was most excited to hear the answers to, because everyone has their own story about how they discover or got into American Girl. And with meme pages, I was just very curious to see what they would say.
I did have dolls. I had, I believe, 6 18-inch dolls, a set of Biddy twins, and one Biddy baby. And I got all of the dolls from my grandma throughout my childhood, and I guess that was kind of like our way of like connecting. And I think it's pretty interesting now, because now that I'm getting more and more into American Girl dolls again, it's kind of like I'm able to reconnect with my grandma, which is really nice. As for like being involved in the American Girl community like online, I wasn't really until now, which is pretty cool.
I definitely had an American Girl doll phase, and I think that you can tell that in my content. For me, I sort of started making content about American Girls because of all that, the serendipity of it, but also just because in pop culture at the time, like Y2K nostalgia is really in, and it was really in at the time. That was sort of the forefront of it being like this trend. The early 2000s, mid 2000s were my real childhood, and that was like when I was an American Girl doll kid. So anyway, I always thought of this as like nostalgia content. I also thought for a while that maybe I'd make Webkinz content too, because like that was very much my childhood. And I sort of came at this from the perspective of like, I'm making content about my childhood. I think I'm unique in that perspective. Most of the other folks have a more long journey story with American Girl, and they are mostly doll collectors or folks who engage with the community more than I did and more consistently than I have. And again, this is sort of when I found out that all these other meme accounts had existed. Like, as you said before, that there were American Girl doll meme accounts sort of before fall of 2021 or winter of 2021. And I do think that one thing that I sort of started doing, because again, I didn't know that the American Girl doll community existed at all. I sort of bridged that gap, I think, between more mainstream meme content and this niche Instagram American Girl doll community.
She had dolls as a kid, but her dad gave them away to Goodwill, and when she found that out, it made her very upset, so she got back into collecting and discovered AGIG. And for anyone wondering, no, she is no longer active on AGIG. Her account has been turned into a backup. I also want to know why they each personally think that their account and American Girl doll memes in general have blown up in the past few months.
I think American Girl doll meme accounts have blown up recently just because of like the sheer nostalgic factor behind it. I mean, they're funny, but also there's kind of like a nostalgic, ironic twist behind them, because a lot of the things that the memes say, you're not really going to expect to be associated with an American Girl doll, like something that you wanted as a kid or you had as a kid. It's kind of subverting expectations, I guess, and that's where the humor is. But I think it's also cool to see something that you had as a kid associated with something that you're interested in now. So I know for myself and a couple other creators may put pictures of dolls and they have like song lyrics from Phoebe Bridgers or Mitski or Lady Gaga or whatever artist. And it's cool to see something that you were interested in as a kid tied to something that you're interested in now. And I guess as for my own account, I have no idea. It's honestly a fluke because I feel like I haven't done that much promotion for my account. Like, I guess I've just been consistent with uploading and I just try to do like a lot of variety within my content, so, well, sometimes. I don't know. I think I really just got lucky with this, and I'm super grateful for everything that has happened because of this, and that's why I'm talking to you today.
I would describe myself as someone who's chronically online. I think because I'm chronically online, I was sort of picking up on the early hints that like American Girl was going to get bigger than it was at the time. And I think I got in on the early sort of sweep of that. Plus, they were all still like here and there, like little references to American Girls and like TikToks that did well, and like just things about like your childhood that were doing well. Plus the whole like nostalgia is always in, but like this idea of that time period in particular being something that we're nostalgic about. There've been a bunch of accounts that have found success outside of the niche of American Girl Instagram. I think that it's because it's so easy, you know, to make American Girl doll content, especially if you're someone who knows a lot about American Girls. The thing about them that I think makes good memes is that they're really, really funny looking, like their expressions. That is like a photo of an American Girl is just like the look on her face says a million words, you know. And they're not all funny, but a lot of them are funny. You can write basically anything and just slap it over a picture of an American Girl doll and it's going to be hilarious. Because the company is so much older than that, it came out, you know, in the 80s, and because it still exists today, you sort of find millennials and like even younger people in Gen Z, people who are more firmly in Gen Z than I am, sort of finding and relating to my content because they love American Girls or they loved a different American Girl.
Julie Albright's not sure why she became popular, and she asks herself that all of the time. She likes to think that her memes gained traction because the people related to them. She thinks that American Girl was a common part of girlhood and growing up, and people can identify with the dolls and identify with topics like mental health, relationships, and politics. The last question I asked them was, how long do they each see themselves creating these memes for? Are they just here to ride the popularity train? Is it something that they genuinely enjoy? Do they think they're going to transition their content from memes into photos or something like that?
Honestly, as long as I'm still having fun with it, I have an absolute blast making memes, and I think there's no better feeling than a random idea popping into my head, and then I just immediately have to like write it down or make it before I forget what it is. I'm kind of scatterbrained sometimes. And if one day I get tired of making memes, just making memes about American Girl dolls, I think I've opened up enough different facets in my account that I could easily pivot towards something else, or I could just like do variety. But for now, expect to see Ganie Holland memes as they are for a long time.
I had no idea that it would be as successful as it was, or that 10 months later that I'd still be doing it. I don't have a posting schedule. If I have an idea, like I'll post it right away, which is why sometimes I won't post for like a week, but then on one day I'll post 5 things because I have just like no ability to sort of like contain myself in that way. So all that to be said, I don't really know. I don't have some sort of like long plan. I'm just sort of riding the wave, and as things are getting really popular, enjoying my 15 seconds of fame, I guess. One thing that's been nice about it, you know, I don't make any money off of it. I spend, you know, maybe a few hours a day like on Instagram, but I don't know, it could all go away tomorrow and I don't think my life would really change that much, and I sort of like it like that. I try not to be chronically online, even though I am. I don't have this long-term campaign to like make sure American Girl stays in the public eye longer than it would otherwise.
Julie says that she will keep creating memes as long as she's inspired. She wants to use this platform to help build her dreams of being an author, and this page really helps her be creative, and she's met a bunch of cool people. As long as she is inspired, she will keep it up, even once the trend has died. One thing that I never knew as an outsider looking into the meme community was that there's drama. I think just at this point, anything with the words Instagram and American Girl combined is prone to drama. But it's just pretty much the tiny little drama that you would kind of, I guess, expect from meme accounts, such as people stealing meme text and meme formats and not crediting people. A big example of this is the giant trend, which is we need an American Girl who blank. Nobody credits the original makers of that meme anymore, and some people are upset by that. But then that raises the whole question of, when a meme format like that is so popular, when do we need to keep crediting the original creator, or when can we stop? Like here on AGTube, if you do the Dress My Dolls Blindfolded challenge, I don't even know who originated that. It became so mainstream and popular that we don't really credit the original person anymore. So that's just something to think about. So one of the reasons why I personally believe that American Girl memes have gotten so popular are that they are relevant to current events. For example, today when I'm recording this, the Roe v. Wade case got overturned recently in the USA, and there are memes everywhere about the situation being spread around AGIG, such as this one that has been reposted a bunch from Click Clittridge that says Julie is having more access to abortion in 1974 than she is in 2022. Everyone has been sharing these memes like wildfire because it's about current events, and thus those meme accounts will gain popularity. It's a way to send a message, but in a humorous way. As discussed throughout the interviews, people love nostalgia. Many millennials grew up with American Girl dolls, and many Gen Z kids, such as myself, still actively consume and purchase American Girl doll items. With these memes often being more mature, they tend to cater to older fans who had American Girl dolls in their childhoods and bring back the nostalgia they had for the brand. I grew up with Barbies, and every so often I'll watch a video of someone memeing a Barbie movie for nostalgia and giggles. And now people are doing the same thing with American Girl content. You also have celebrities and influencers popularizing American Girl, such as Olivia Rodrigo. Yes, she played Grace in the Grace Stirs It Up movie, but occasionally she will visit the American Girl store and post about it, post her dolls, and that makes the general public want to look up the dolls and get nostalgic over them as well, since they were their childhoods. It's also just really funny to see dolls that are meant to be kids and owned by kids be attached to adult themes like drinking or clubbing or even just having swearing in the posts. As an adult collector myself, I even get a laugh out of it. Now, I will admit that the AG meme community has become very oversaturated over the past few months, and some memes I just don't find funny. However, memes that combine my interests, such as theater and dolls, make me smile and laugh, and I'm sure others feel the same way based on what I see reposted on people's stories. Who knows how much longer AG memes will be popular for, and if other forms of AG content will also gain popularity as a result of the meme trend. But for now, we can all enjoy these memes that trigger our nostalgia and our inner childs. I am currently editing this video, but one thing I just briefly wanted to mention, and I talked about this on my Instagram close friend story, is that it's just so weird having something to do with American Girl become mainstream. People on my personal Instagram are reposting American Girl doll memes who aren't even part of the community. I'm sure they probably had dolls as a kid, that's why they have found the memes in the first place. It's so weird to me that people who normally would have no interest in dolls are suddenly like reposting these memes and following these meme accounts. And normally my doll life is very separate from like my real life, so it's kind of scary to me that people who I follow on my personal account follow these meme accounts who follow my American Girl doll account. And not that anyone in real life who is not into American Girl follows my doll account, but it's just kind of scary how close these people I know in real life are to like the doll side of my life. I don't know. The nice thing about like, you know, being kind of anonymous on the internet is I can keep my doll life separate from like my real life, but it's just scary when the things intersect. It literally feels like Hannah Montana sometimes because it's like, yeah, I'm a doll YouTuber and photographer and things like that, and I have a bunch of American Girl dolls at home, but of course I go to school and I have interests besides dolls, but it's just weird having things intersect, and I'm sure some of you guys are all in the same situation of having non-doll friends repost these memes, but it's just weird, and I feel like this trend is gonna continue. More people are gonna follow these meme accounts, and yeah. So I just wanted to put that's how I'm feeling right now in the video. So thanks so much to all of the meme accounts who allowed me to interview them for this video. I really appreciate it, and be sure to follow them on Instagram if you are looking for some AG humor to spice up your day. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below, especially because this is AGTube and not AGIG. Have you heard of these meme accounts before, or is this a completely new subject for you? Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more American Girl doll videos, and of course I will see you soon with a new video. Bye!